Here we go. Here we go. Another week, man. Another Rhode Island ranked top 3. Can we keep it real podcast, man? Welcome everybody. Always keep it real, always keep it authentic, and always keep it 100. I gotta make some t-shirts that say that. A lot of good games going on in the playoffs, as you see on the screen. Central Knights hosting East Providence. We're gonna have Uncle Felix, and we're gonna talk about a lot of these games going on. Coventry and Classical, what a matchup. That should be a repeat from a couple weeks ago. But you already know how we do it. We got to thank the ones that make this possible. Shout out to Voice Sports. Definitely go check them out. If you're looking to buy a home, man, definitely Colwell, Banker, Coastal Homes, Mark Wright, give him a call. And if you're looking to get recruited, R&R Elite Recruits, definitely Ronnie and his team doing big things. And I gotta show love to my son. Go check out his show, Ruby Tuesdays. You already know how we do it. We putting it down. We gotta support the family, man. But speaking of family, man, we gotta bring in everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Felix, Rhode Island ranked. What's going on, my guy? How are we doing today, Uncle Felix?
Not bad. What's good, Mikey?
All right, not bad. I'm feeling in my bag today. I'm in my groove, man. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you are.
You know what I mean? How's everything going?
Not bad. Not bad. Just enjoying this football season.
Here we are, man. We back again. What is this? Episode 8. This is our 8 weeks doing it this season, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's been a great season, Felix. A lot of good games in all divisions. How did you think the regular season went?
It was good. It was minus the COVID issues and canceled games. Hopefully we're done with that, and next year we'll be back to just regular football. But it's been much better than the shortened spring season. At least we're playing in the right time of year anyway.
Nah, you're right. And all your listeners, please share this. Hit the like button, subscribe. I got to throw that in there. Subscribe. A lot of good games, though, going on, Uncle Felix. The playoffs are here.
Yes.
We still got one more week in Division 4, of games to go on, before they could nail that bracket down. A big game over there, Smithfield, Juanita, Sanchez, the winner of that game, will get the number 2 seed.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one. And I believe that game is actually playing that at Classical, Smithfield and Juanita. They're playing that game at Class.
Well, Juanita Sanchez, that is their home field. They play over there at Conley. They really don't have a home. Yeah, I mean,
Smithfield took that whooping there, 43-0 to Pontigansett. So
that game got very chippy. If you look on my Facebook page, you see a video. The refs stopped that game with 6-7 minutes to go. When you get a response, you kind of ask what's going on. And I know the refs there was something about, Pontigansett wasn't subbing in. But from what I heard from somebody up there towards Pontigansett, that how are we going to sub guys in when the game is that edgy, that chippy? It was a pretty rough game. But, yeah, their senior night, 43-0. But the game got stopped for some reason. And I'd like to know why it was stopped. Can officials just stop games because it's chippy or you don't have a chance to win?
I'm assuming they got a lot of leeway. I think as long as if you're past 3 quarters, I think they can officially call the game.
Central Knights, man, doing their thing. I seen they played Bishop Hendricken JV. I think the Knights are the real deal now, and they're here to stay for the next couple seasons.
Central, yeah, that's a good squad. They got a great coach there, so they're going to be a team to look out for.
Now, Coach Washington doing his thing. And up until this week, there was a chance that they were going to go to LaSalle and play the SKEG game. That game goes another way. EG wins that game. It would have benefited Central big time, and Central would have moved up in the number 2 spot.
That's a matchup I would have liked to see. I would have loved to see Central and LaSalle.
Yeah, and Coach Washington, he wanted that matchup. He wanted all the smoke.
Yep.
He
No,
wanted all the smoke. He
yeah,
wanted that matchup.
that's what I love about him. He doesn't shy away from anything. So good for him.
He did not want to play East Providence. Respect to East Providence, but he wanted to play the best. I mean, he's
Well,
going to
yeah.
play
I mean,
whoever's on their schedule.
exactly. But you want, he wants to chase that state championship. You know, what I mean, not the Division I championship. He wants the state championship. Can't blame him. You know what I mean? They fell short this year. We'll see what happens next year.
Hey, he said early on in the season, we want that 1 or 2 spot. That was our goal. And that SK game killed them. Losing that SK game really hurt.
Yep. That's what you gotta love about high school football. Same as college football. Every game is pretty much a playoff game. You know what I mean? Every
Yeah, you
game.
don't realize every game
Yeah,
becomes vital. West Warwick
yeah.
wins that Tolman game. They're in the playoffs today.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, they lost that game late, and then they also that time they lost to Mount Hope there with the with the 80-yard kickoff return. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah,
but I think overall, West Warwick, what do you think? A successful season?
I'd say successful. They won a game, right? They haven't won a game in a couple of
They
years.
won more games this year
Yeah,
than they won games under that dumpster fire they had over there.
exactly. They won a couple of games. They were competitive in a few more games. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely a success.
Man, your Rhode Island ranked is definitely kicking butt over there on Instagram. Definitely go check out Uncle Felix, Rhode Island ranked. You got kids going back and forth. They're paying attention, Uncle Felix.
Yes, they are. I got inboxed a few times today. How come I'm not on the running backs list? How come? Where's the defensive player? The defensive player top 3 will be coming out tomorrow. I didn't have time to get to it today, so I'll probably actually I might put it out later tonight. To be honest with you.
So pay attention to that, Uncle Felix. We've been calling people out. Oh yeah, max preps, max preps, max preps.
Hmm.
Update max preps. Some people say, oh yeah, but the coaches put the stats in and they're not really even the real stats. And I was like,
Well,
well, it's better than not putting the stats
yeah,
in.
that's the thing. If every coach puts them in, they would actually police each other, right? Because if I'm putting in my stats and I have, my defense gave up 100 yards, and all of a sudden the coach I played against is putting in that his running back ran for 300 yards, and I could say, hey, that's not right. So it works best, obviously, if everybody participates in it, and it's very user friendly. And I don't understand why everybody's not participating in it. In all honesty, if you're not, shame on you.
And some people say, oh yeah, but because I was looking at a game and the stats on Max Preps, Classical did very, very well. But then when I was watching the game back, it was like, so yeah, it could sway 50, 100 yards each way, different ways, give or take, but it's good for us, people like us, to go on there and see that Deuce Addison is the top third quarterback in the state, or Jalen Hunt is doing very, very well. Or when I talk to my people in Maryland, I can go on there and go to Maryland football,
Hmm.
and I could be able to talk about a game right then and there. Hey Felix, I'm gonna get this call. Why don't you explain to everybody how your Rhode Island ranks works?
Yep. Well, the way I do my Rhode ranks, I usually every week I will pick a top 3 quarterbacks, top 3 running backs, top 3 wide receivers, and then the top 3 defenders. And the way I go about it is typically by the stats. Usually it weighs a little more if your team won. Um, but other than that, I try to look at the stats. And sometimes it's tough because you say top 3, you're leaving that 4th and 5th kid out, and sometimes you know it's close. You know what I mean? So it just comes down to basically a gut feeling. You know what I mean? I get inboxed quite a bit by some players, who are a little grumpy for not making it, which is cool, which tells me that they're paying attention. So it's all love. I try to explain to them, the best I can, why such and such. Like I had a kid today. He told me he ran for about 160 yards and a couple of touchdowns, which is all honestly a great game. And 90% of the time, that's going to get you on the top 3 list. But this week here, when we go over it, you'll see all 3 running backs ran for well over 200 yards and had multiple touchdowns. So 160 yards this week, didn't cut it, unfortunately for him. Oh, and Mike is still not back. So what are we going to do? We could talk about the Rookie of the Week in the MASCAC. For those of you that don't know, that's Division III. That's the conference. It's called MASCAC. The Rookie of the Week this week was actually a former Rhode Island star out of Cumberland High School, Dante Avila Santos. He threw 4 touchdown passes in a huge win, arguably one of the best wins for that program in at least a decade. They had a huge win over the Bridgewater Bulldogs, who I believe UMass hasn't beaten in about 8 years or so. But that was a huge win. It pushes them to 7-2 with 1 game left on the regular season, which they got to play Plymouth State. If they can pull off the victory against Plymouth State, Umass Dartmouth will most likely qualify for the New England Bowl, which is huge. I think, if I'm correct, UMass hasn't qualified for a bowl game since 2002. And who would have thought all this early on in the season? They lost their number 1 quarterback out for the year. 2 quarters into the season, in steps Dante Avila Santos, who, by the way, is a freshman. You know what I mean? And the kid has been godsend. He's been playing awesome. He definitely answered the call. I believe he's either 1 or 2 in touchdowns in the whole conference as a freshman. So kudos to him. He's doing his thing.
Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Uncle Felix. I'm glad you was able to hold it down.
Not a problem.
That was actually a very good phone call with some good information. But yeah, we'll talk about that soon. But was you holding it down? Explain to them. I'm gonna pull up your information right now so we can break it down. But I love what you do over there, and it works out. Giving these kids. Let's go to top quarterbacks first, right? Hang on, let me get this out of here. It's really good having something, and a lot of states need stuff like this, and a lot of people been, pretty much thanking me and saying, this is what Rhode Island needs, and I can't agree with them more. But thank you for. Is this your quarterback one, the one with the number 10? Yeah, okay. All right, let's get this up there.
All right. And
there we go. I figured out how to get full screen. Here we are. Top quarterbacks. Uncle Felix, man, take it away.
Top 3 quarterbacks this week. No stranger to the list is my main man, Dean Vercioni, over at LaSalle, who's been tearing it up all year. This week he threw for about 245 yards and a couple of touchdowns in their win. Then I gave my number 2 quarterback week was Hunter Remington, who's also having a monster season. And his stats are all up there on MAXPREPPS. You can check them out. Hunter Remington threw for almost 200 yards this week, but threw for 3 touchdown passes. So he had a nice week. And then I also had to go with Daniel Wolf out of Scituate, who threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and in their victory there. So kudos to all 3 for making this week's Rhode Island ranked.
I mean, Felix, so many good quarterbacks this season. Jalen Hunt, putting up 1,800 yards. Hunter Remington, somebody that was on your list, making, getting them yards with 1,706. And it's just too bad that, salute to Coach Marcone, but I think a school like LaSalle should also be putting up their stats, because these guys would definitely be on these lists. And Deuce Addison, another player, 1,300 yards. Lance Williams becoming the only kid in Westerly. Westerly scores 1,000 yards rushing, and they throw for 1,000 yards this season. So salute to all the quarterbacks in the league this year.
Yeah, it's been a great season for quarterbacks, and the numbers, they reflect that. And I think a lot of it has to do with all these passing leagues that you see going on in the summertime. these quarterbacks have really honed in their passing skills, and it shows.
Now there was some great passing leagues, Of course, what Coach Dunbar was able to put together with his passing league, and Coach Fortin had a passing league, Coach Ferraro had a passing league, Coach Blake Simpson, salute to him, he had a passing league. But there was so many kids with there was so many passing leagues around the state. Um, and it was great for the kids. It was definitely great. It was great to keep them loose, keep them working out, because this is where other states, why they are better than us, and why Rhode Island, it seems to be just an activity. So top running backs, man, you gotta have. Of course, Of course, you got LaSalle back on there and Central Knights, but why don't you break down the top running backs, Uncle Felix?
Yes, sir. My top three backs. Number one, I went with Judah Verify, who had another huge week. He's been really coming on late in the season here. He rushed for 240 yards and did it only on 11 carries. And
11 carries.
That's it. And then also on the list, James L. Lassiter, who had a big game. He rushed for 230 plus yards, but he did it on double the carries, 22 carries, but still a great game. That's still over 10 yards a carry. And then rounding it off, I went with Jayden Carnivale out of Coventry, who also rushed for over 200 yards, and he did it on 23 carries. He got in the end zone 3 times. So, I mean, these are monster games late in the season by these running backs. And, as the weather gets colder, I guess, these running backs around the league are going to be asked to do a little more.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm seeing a lot of teams a lot healthier than I thought they would have been this time of year.
Mm. Yeah. Kudos to the coaching staffs for keeping kids healthy.
Definitely. Let me get up on next reel over here. Let me put a graphic up while I do that. Yeah, so many great games. Another good game. We'll definitely get into that in a few minutes. The Mount Pleasant Tolman game, I think, is going to be interesting. So many. So we have wide receivers, running back. Oh, so we don't actually have DBs. So that pretty much.
No, yep. You got to go over the wide receivers. We haven't done that.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, wide receivers. Don't throw eggs at me or do any of that shit. But
you can't forget the divas.
No, definitely can't forget the wide receivers divas. Take another name that we see all the time, Geraldo.
Yeah. Actually, they have 2 Geraldos over there, and they've both made this list before. But first here I started off with Nate Tessier over there in North Smithfield, who had a monster game. He found the end zone twice. 11 catches, over 200 yards. That's unbelievable. And number 2, I went with Brady Fisher out of LaSalle. LaSalle got a clean sweep this week. They got a kid in each category. Brady Fisher caught 5
Has that happened this season?
I'm not sure.
LaSalle pulled a hat trick.
Pulled a hat trick, and I still got to do defense. So they might get somebody else in there, but we'll see. But he had 5 catches, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Israel Geraldo made the list with 6 catches, 109 yards, found the pay dirt 3 times. But yeah, there's 2. I'm assuming they're brothers. There's Israel Geraldo, and then there's, I forget the other kid's name, but Randy Geraldo. Over there at Mount Pleasant. They're both doing some damage this year.
You remember the Geraldo show? Definitely a different spelling, but yeah, Nate Tessier, definitely a friend of the show. He's been on the show, Player of the Week, several times. Shout out to Jeff Piver, the coach up there. They get to play Charahoe this weekend again, and we will definitely get into that as we conclude our Top 3. Go check out Uncle Felix on Rhode Island Ranked over there on Instagram. Maybe you might be coming to Facebook soon, huh? Any luck on that?
I'm thinking about it because I'm actually thinking of putting the Rhode Island Ranked also on TikTok since I make the videos on TikTok. I was thinking I might as well just make it a page. And
So
since
go check out Uncle Felix on TikTok.
because a lot of these kids are on TikTok, if not all of them. You know what I mean? So it'll give them another place to check it out on.
Yeah, I like TikTok. TikTok's all right, and definitely, go support everybody that supports youth football. And listen, if you want your logo up here on top of the screen, definitely reach out to me. Hey, Uncle Felix, should I charge Burger King for this? They got keep it real meals.
Yes, you should have your lawyer give them a call.
I think I'm going to Burger King. Keep it real meals. See, they even know what's going on. They said we got to keep up with the flow.
Trying to jump on your coattails.
It's definitely, people are paying attention. People are definitely paying attention. They know that there's this some guy, Mike, that has a podcast that all these coaches come on talking all kinds of critical stuff about referees. That's what I heard.
You're doing your thing. Kudos to you.
Hey, that's right. That's right. Hey, listen, big shout out to North Providence High School, man. I have to clap it up to North Providence. Signed a $3.2 million deal for a new football field.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to North Providence.
The taxpayers will be footing that bill.
Oh yeah, you know what? Give me $6 million. I bet I can get 3 fields done. At least 3 fields. It's how you do the shopping.
Well, I used to be on the town of Lincoln budget board, and I was there when they put their football field through. It didn't cost that much. It was about $1 million less than that one. So that's when I saw the $3 million. I'm like, what else are they putting there?
What was that college that Bill Clinton's daughter went to? I think it was up in New York. Well, anyway, they put a turf field with an air dome, and it was under $3 million with the air dome. So it's like, and nowadays you could probably find these companies that come in and do it, and it seems like anytime there's a municipality involved, the price skyrockets.
Yeah. Well, whenever government is involved, correct? They always spend the money. That's for sure.
Let me see if I can find it here. We're gonna get into some of these games coming up. Gonna have a lot of great games. You got 3A Central High School 4-2 going against 6 seed East Providence 2-4. What do you think about this game, East Providence? Can they do it?
No, but kudos to East Providence though. They finished the season strong. They won a couple of games, coming down the stretch there, which tells me they're starting to get used to Coach Stringfellow's offense there. Like I said, they're going to be a team to reckon with in the near future. As he implements his offense there, and the kids get used to it. So keep an eye on East Providence. But this is not the year for them. Central to me has got to be the heavy favorite in the Division One for the Division One championship.
I think Central is going to be a problem for the next couple of seasons. Even that the kids they're developing, the young kids, look very, very, very good.
They got great athletes there. There's a lot of great youth football in Providence. I mean, they got a good coach there who doesn't shy away from anything. You know what I mean? And I am a strong believer that teams take on the personality of their coach. So taking on the personality of Mike Washington is not a bad thing.
No, definitely shout out to Mike Washington, everything he has going on over there. Not having a good kicking game. I'm sure that's something that they'll be working on. They lose a quarterback early on in the season. They was able to work through that, and end up getting another quarterback to come in, and they're still being very, very competitive. And I said early on, like, they wanted that LaSalle matchup. Like, the divisions was that close coming down.
Yeah,
But
I would have liked to see that.
oh yeah, that would have been phenomenal. And who knows, they might see him. The next game we have Cumberland Clippers coming in at the 3 seed on the B side, finishing up at 3-2, playing the 6 seed EG. Luckily, finished the season with 1-6, a favorite that should be in Division II next season.
Yeah, I can definitely see that move happening. This game here, though, definitely got to go with Cumberland. They got a really tough defensive line there. Their running game has been coming on strong with Cam Pedro and Joel Baker. Those guys have been putting up big numbers coming down the stretch, so I don't see that changing. I definitely think Cumberland wins that game.
And the Pedro kid, very small kid, not as big as people would think he is.
Mighty Mouse.
And he still gets them yards. A couple of weeks ago, what do you have? 30 carries for like 3,797 yards. The kid had all types of yards.
Yeah, he did.
So all right, Portsmouth, 4-3. They finished off with a 4 seed. I thought Portsmouth was going to finish higher just 2 weeks ago. They were flirting with that number 2 spot.
Yeah.
They dropped down to a 4. They finished 4-3. They're playing Shea, a team that has been struggling finish the season. They got the 5 seed over there. Shea finishes with 2-3.
That loss to NK really hurt Portsmouth here. They played Hendricken really tough. I was obviously at that game, but awful circumstances to play a game in, awful weather, I should say. It felt like I was just sitting in the shower with my clothes on.
Soaking wet.
It was just pouring. The ball was heavy. It was. Yeah, it's one thing if you're playing, it must be fun. But as a fan sitting there, it was not fun at all. But yeah. So Portsmouth here playing Shea. Shea coming off a big win off of Woonsocket. They got Shea's got a running back there who plays defense linebacker too. I believe his name is Parson. Let me see if I'm saying his name right. Well, I know his nickname is Six Train, but I know that's not the name his mama gave him. But he's been coming on really strong this year. And like we were saying earlier, this is the type of weather for those big running backs. He delivers the pain on defense as well. That being said, Ben Hurd is a handful. He gave Hendricken all they could handle in that game there. Kid has a good arm, great IQ, uses his legs very well. That game being in Portsmouth, got to go with Portsmouth.
There you have it. You've heard it. Now, another game, Burrillville. I've been using Burrillville as an example all season at teams that don't belong in Division I. Coach Ferraro and his staff up there, really worked hard this season to earn a playoff spot with the 4th seed, 3-3, going against another team that's struggling on the northern part of the state, Woonsocket Novans with that 5 seed.
Let's see. 1 second, I had it here and I lost it. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It happens all the time.
And who's Woonsocket playing again? I'm sorry.
Woonsocket's playing Burrillville High School. Two teams. Woonsocket is 2-3 right now. Burrillville is 3-3.
Yeah.
And that game will be at Burrillville. Burrillville being their highest seed.
Yeah, that should be a good game. That's a tough one to pick. Woonsocket coming off their loss to Shea.
Please, people, leave a comment. If you want to share this, you can leave a comment up in the box. If you want to interact with us, and what do you think about Uncle Felix's predictions or my predictions? Let us know.
I almost want to cop out on that and call it a pick'em game, but
pick'em game. No, we don't do that over here.
Exactly, but I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little upset here. I'm gonna go Woonsocket wins that one on the road.
Woonsocket wins that one on the road. Shout out Coach B-Ball. I found out one of his coaches drive all the way from Cape Cod.
Wow.
That is what a commute that is. Salute to you, Coach Ed.
That's dedication.
Now I just let everyone know where the coach lives. My bad. So now these games we got. Let me just tell them for the people that are just checking in. We're gonna have Central versus East Providence, Cumberland versus EG, Portsmouth versus Shea, Burrville versus Woonsocket. Now let's go to we should have did this one first. The state championship game. 1A, Bishop Hendricken. I have them third in the state, by the way. 5-0, playing NK, which NK was kind of handling all D1 programs. They go against LaSalle. And did it show us how good LaSalle is or how bad NK is?
I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to actually see that game. I did see the final score. I thought it'd be a little closer than that. So, but I didn't get to see that game. I'm not sure what it says about NK. NK has been, as you said, they've been strong all year. Minus their loss to the Saints. I think that might have been the first game of the season. But since then, North Kingston has been rolling. They have no love lost for Bishop Hendricken. It's been a big rivalry over the past few years, so that's going to be a tough game. I don't think that's going to be a walk in the park for Hendricken there, because NK, like I said, they're no stranger to playing Hendricken, and they're not going to back down. They're going to come hard, but I do see Hendricken pulling that one off.
Sometimes them games, like Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, like no matter how bad the Dolphins are, they're always going to show up and play certain games tough. And that NK Hendricken is one of them games. That LaSalle Hendricken game, that them games have a tendency to go differently. So we definitely will have to see. I thought NK was going to play better.
Over the past 3 years, I would say NK has definitely given Hendricken a better game than LaSalle has anyway.
So now, the loser of that game, guess what? They're not eliminated, folks, by the way. Double elimination bracket. So the loser of that game will drop down and face the winner of 3 through 6. Now, the only bad part, the loser don't have a game until November 19th.
Well, the winner also won't play until November 20th.
Yes, true. Ponegant's in that boat. Ponegant's has a bye this week. They have a bye next week for their first round, so they don't play another game until the 18th or 19th. But let's jump into Division 2. 1 second here. I'm looking for something. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. The first game, Mount Pleasant hosting Tolman, man. Mount Pleasant 5-2, coming in with the 1 seed on the A side. That A bracket was all over the place. Teams are bouncing, up and down. Tolman makes a big push. The last couple of weeks of the season, I'll tell you, them beating West Warwick really helped them out. Then they finish off strong with Rogers and Mount Hope. They end up in the playoffs at 3-4. Can Tolman play 4 strong quarters and beat Mount Pleasant?
Tolman, it seems like they're coming on at the right time, but unfortunately for them, so is Mount Pleasant. They've been putting up a lot of points. Deuce Addison has been like a human joystick out there.
1,365 yards, and he's bringing in like 195 yards a game.
Yep, and he's got weapons there in Israel and Randy Geraldo doing their thing.
And the kid Ketter, I think Jeremy Ketter never really played high school football, comes on this year as a senior, played a lot of youth football, and Jeremy Ketter is just running all over the joint. Let me see if I can find his yards over here, but I was very, very impressed with, let me see right here. Yeah, another good thing about MAXPREPPS, see, you can just look it up. I don't have to call Coach Addison at 8:30 at night. Say, hey, by the way, how many yards does this guy have? Like, ridiculous. I don't understand. Some people, they just have so many issues. Like, just put the yards up. I don't see what the big deal is. All right, here we go.
I don't either.
See if his name. I know I seen his name up here. I think it was here it is. Jeremy Ketter, 304 yards on the season. Like I said, never played high school football, played in the youth program. So shout out to him. Henrique Ross, too, another kid that's putting up big yards up at Mount Pleasant, at St. Raphael's, rather, putting up some good running back yards. But yeah, I think Mount Pleasant's definitely getting it done. So who was your pick?
Mount Pleasant.
He picks Mount Pleasant, Coach Addison, man. I definitely got to reach out to Coach Addison, see if we can get him up in the building. But definitely tag Coach Addison, tell him get up in here. Another team, St. Ray's. A lot of people figured St. Ray's going to come out on top. One coach made a good comparison. He said the problem with St. Ray's, these kids hear St. Ray's, St. Ray's. By the time they get off the bus, they're like, oh my God, we're playing St. Ray's and they're already defeated. But they bleed like you. They could lose like any other team. But they're going to play Moses Brown, 3-4. Moses Brown, tell me they're turning it on at the right time.
They could be. I mean, and the funny thing I've noticed about Moses Brown is that they've been playing the good teams really tough. So it's almost like they're playing to the level of their competition. So if that's the case, they're going to be playing at a high level against St. Ray's, because St. Ray's is the cream of the crop in that division. So, but all that being said, St. Ray's is just going to be too much. They got too many weapons on offense. The ground game is pretty much almost second to nobody. So I don't see Moses Brown winning this game at all.
Even Andre DePina Gray for a quarterback, he's, I think he's number 8 in the state for rushing with 571 yards. So, yeah, I don't think this is the day that St. Ray's lose, but we will see. That's for sure. Okay, let's go up to the next one. 2A, Barrington, a rematch from a couple weeks ago. Barrington and Westerly Bulldogs, and these teams also met last year during the COVID season. Same playoff game. Barrington had their way with them and a lot of other teams last season. Is it going to be different? Does Barrington, do they do anything against Stanley Dunbar and the Westerly Bulldogs? They lost 28-0 a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know they played it just a couple of weeks ago, and, the Bulldogs handled the Eagles very easily. Now it's the playoffs. Things obviously get a little tighter. Game becomes a little faster. But I still don't see the Bulldogs falling off here. So I do see Dunbar getting the W.
Ooh, Dunbar's gonna like you. Another rematch that's coming up from a few weeks ago. Classical hosting Coventry for this Division II playoff matchup. Classical 5-2 playing Coventry Division II 3 seed at 3-3. Like this division, Mount Pleasant, Barrington, Mount Pleasant, Barrington, and Coventry was like it was a race on that side.
Yeah. That was a tough division there. You know what though? I'm gonna say I'm going with Coventry in this game. Might not be the popular pick there. Obviously with Marquise Buchanan being the top receiver in the state over there playing for Classical. They got a great quarterback in Jalen Dennis. But all that being said, I'm going to go with the defensive Coventry in that run game.
All right, give me 1 second. I forgot to get this stuff copied and pasted. Yeah, it's definitely, they definitely have a chance. Hang on, people. I just got to do this real quick. They definitely have a chance to win. It's hard to, it's hard to win twice. It's hard to lose twice. It's harder to lose twice, I think. Easier to lose twice than win twice. But Gary Goodhart, you hear that? He said, you guys are going to handle this shit. You got this. But, we definitely will see Classical, a good game. We were talking about Jalen Hunt earlier. Leads the state in passing, and people, as far as, the people that put it up on MAXPREPPS, he definitely leads the state in passing. He's been up there the last couple of years, Jalen Dennis. So very, very good matchup. I'm rooting that Coventry can pull this one out as well. Now, the Mount Pleasant Tolman game, the winner of that will play the winner of the St. Ray's Moses Brown game. Or did I say that backwards? And then Barrington and Westerly, the winner of the Barrington Westerly plays the winner of the St. Ray's Moses Brown game, and the Mount Pleasant Tolman will match up whoever wins the Classical Coventry game. So that's how it looks there in Division 2. So let's get over to Division 3. Here we go. Division 3, there's some teams that didn't. Nope, they all got in. You get a seed, I get a seed, we all get a seed. It reminds me of Uncle Johnny, who's giving seeds out to everybody. David Faber, quarterback at Moses Brown, one of the best in the state, went to the Nike Elite this past summer. That came in from Fans Only Sports Network. Shout out to you guys over there. But definitely check out David Faber, the quarterback at Moses Brown. A lot of good games coming up on Fans Only Sports this weekend. You can definitely go check them out. They do a very good job with their streaming network. It's not easy streaming all them games, so salute to them, what they have going on. Number 1, Narragansett, 7-0. Central Falls, 0-5. Man, does Central Falls do they play this game? Do they take that bus ride all the way down to Barrington and get beat by 80?
They should take the bus ride, enjoy the scenery, have some fun, and get ready for Thanksgiving.
Get some clam cakes and chowder.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Narragansett will probably hang about 60 on this game.
Ooh, that's a big one. Pilgrim, shout out to Coach Blizzy Blake. Tollgate, they got out of the first game. They can't get out of this one. Tollgate and Pilgrim were supposed to play early on in the season. For whatever reason, COVID came around, and they bit Tollgate in the butt, but there ain't no ducking Pilgrim now. You have to face the music. Does Tollgate win this game?
No, not at all. This is just, just like Narragansett in Central Falls, that this game here is a tune-up game for Pilgrim.
How about the luck Pilgrim has? A parent goes to a Tollgate game at Vets. They complained about the benches. I guess there was an architect. So they said, well, let's go to Pilgrim and check out the benches at Pilgrim. Turn out they're unfit to use. So now they're not going to have any benches. I don't know if something changed, but the last I heard was that the grandstands were closed for that game at Vets, and at people just can't mind their business. Like, let me go call the town and let them know that the benches are not good over here. Like, what's wrong with people?
Sounds like Karen is a little bored.
Karen, yes, Karen. People actually play Karen with their children. But that's a story for another day. Pilgrim Tollgate. So I want to say I feel like the guy on the movie. What did I say? On Squid Games, the old man. He was classic. I think I seen you on Squid Games, right?
Yes, you did.
Go check out Squid Games. Uncle Felix is a star on Squid Games. Charahoe, North Smithfield. Charahoe, the last time these two teams met, Charahoe beat the brakes off North Smithfield, 41-0. They put them Dr. Dre beats on them. But I will say North Smithfield just coming out the gate. They had a week off with COVID. They were just getting, they really didn't have a lot of practice time. Can North Smithfield turn it around with Cole Vowles, Nate Tessier, and maybe win a playoff game?
They will try their best, that's for sure. You know what I mean? I like what they got going on there. Nate Tessier obviously made my Rhode Island ranked top 3 receivers this week. I've coached before with Coach Paiva. He's a good coach. He's going to get that team headed in the right direction, but it won't happen this week here. Charahoe's too much for them.
Yeah, North Smithfield needs to go down to Division 4. I think they should have stayed in Division 4, but they became a victim of their success. Got thrown up to Division 3 after they win that Super Bowl with the mighty 7-foot angel West Pennington. I told my daughter he's an angel. She said that's
Yeah.
a big angel.
He's a
Yeah.
soldier in the army of the Lord.
Yes, he is. Praise to God. Shout out to West Pennington. He's gonna come on in a couple of weeks to a closeout podcast. He's gonna address the West Warwick community. I think that was great getting him up there in West Warwick. I'm gonna have to look up this David Faber kid and
No, he's a very good quarterback. I just don't know about the weapons that he has there. I mean, they got that kid Miles Craddock, who isn't bad, but other than that, I know it's been a tough season for them. I mean, I think with the quarterback like that, it would have been nice to surround him with more weapons, but it doesn't always work out.
Okay, now we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes division, the one everybody's watching, Division 4, where they got all the smoke over there. We're going to have North Providence High School and Scituate Spartans, man. Scituate has been on a roll the last couple of weeks. They got a big win last week. They're looking to end the season strong.
Yeah.
Because North Providence, this could hurt their seeding as well if they lose to Scituate. Who wins this game, Uncle Felix?
I'm gonna have to go with Scituate there. Daniel Wolf had a huge game for them, threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdown passes. We'll see if they can continue that there. North Providence has been a little bit shaky this year, so I'm gonna roll with the Spartans here.
And I was happy to see a Spartan on your Rhode Island ranked, and that means Coach D updated his MAXPREPPS page. Thank you, Coach D. About time. I kept telling him, update that MAXPREPPS page. Update that page, But, yeah, shout out to him, and that's why his kid made the list. So, okay, so Scituate's going with the pick for Scituate. I don't think they were too happy with you when you picked against them a couple weeks ago. But I think you might have redeemed yourself now. See that guy? He came around. Juanita Sanchez, Smithfield High School. After that chippy game, Smithfield for their homecoming game. The winner of this game get to buy. Smithfield PCD.
Yep.
PCD came out of the dungeon compared to the season they had last season.
They have. Orlando Torres has been great for them. And, I think he's going to be great for them this week here. So I'm picking PCD.
Oh, PCD to win the game. PCD to pick up the number 2 seed. PCD to get the first round bye.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. We already talked about that game. Let's see. All right. 1 second. I'm just getting to the other. Another game that we're going to be having. This is a non-league game. Consolation game. They're winning backwards. Cranston East, West Warwick High School. We got to show them love too.
Yes, we do. So this will be West Warwick. We'll be playing up a division here. And I think I'm gonna have to roll with West Warwick there. With the running back DeAndre Chase. He's been a stud all year, and I believe he will have a chance to crack the 1,000-yard mark in this game here. So look for him to get fed and eat up some yards. Their junior quarterback has been coming on late in the season. Richard Medeiros has been a stud all year. He had a kickoff return, matter of fact, this past week. So, I think West Warwick is going to, pull off the upset. It would be an upset, West Warwick is Division 2 and East is Division 1.
That would be an upset. Like you said, DeAndre Chase right now sitting at 9.25. 925 yards, averaging 102 yards a game. And you always hear about these West Warwick kids, that West Warwick quarterback. Malay. Am I saying his name right?
Brady Mael, something like that.
Yeah, kid could. He played with a saw back the other day, a tight back. He had a great game. The Chase kid, the Medeiros kid, just kids you always hear inside the top 10. So I think West Warwick's in a great place, and West Pennington's definitely the right guy that they have up there. And Cranston East is just that's a whole nother story. Cranston East definitely needs a resurrection.
They had their chance to hire West Pennington.
Yes, they did, and I think that was the right choice.
Would have been a great choice because him being a former Cranston East player too. Actually,
it would have been a better choice for Cranston East than it would have been for West Pennington.
Mm-hmm.
I think West is in a much better situation at West Warwick. I think he has a lot more at his disposal. And still D1, you still got to play the power teams. At least where he is now, he has a chance to build. Do you think West Warwick goes down to Division 3? West Pennington said if asked, he'll take up the opportunity.
Yeah, I can see them moving down. I mean, that program's been at the bottom for years. And even, with the success they had this year, they only won, I think, 2 games. So if they use the formula they've used in the past, they're definitely a candidate to move down.
Johnston High School in Middletown. Another playoff game.
Yeah, Johnston, they got a lot of firepower on that offense. So I think they will be too much to handle for Middletown.
Now, the week before, you remember the score was a 1-point game. Johnston wins by 1, 26-25. Johnston had some up and down years. Up and down weeks. I think Charahoe might have beat them pretty easily. So we'll definitely see. It's going to be interesting. Now, again, you're playing it back-to-back. You played them last week. You're playing them this week. So that means Johnston has to win 2 games twice, beat the same team twice in a row. So
yep,
you're still sticking with that?
Yes, sir.
He said, I'm sticking with Johnston, man. Coach Achado really going to do it for me. Let's see. What other games? Yeah. Oh, Tiverton and Davies, man. Tiverton can't get out of their own way. Hopefully, Tiverton will be able to step it up and maybe next season get some new players. I heard rumors that their coach might be retiring. I know he's been there for a long time. Coach Russo, is it? If I'm not mistaken. I heard he might be stepping down. But can Tiverton beat a Davies that has been hurt the last couple of weeks, started the season strong, and they've just been struggling the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. It's too much of an uphill battle for Tiverton. Look for Davies to finish the season strong here.
Hope and EWG. EWG makes the playoffs last week. So I'm wondering, what does Coach Fulton do here? Do they go balls to the wall and just try to beat Hope with all their starters, or do they just let their young guys play this game?
I think they will start off with the starters and then, slowly take them out of the game as the game progresses and, rest the guys up. But nothing wrong with getting the starters some work.
Boy, you also don't want to take a chance on, getting any injuries. So, that's definitely risky, especially a game that it don't win or lose. It don't hurt you. It don't help you. Another game of the teams that didn't make it. There are like 4 teams, unfortunately, that didn't make the playoffs out of all the teams we have. Cranston West playing Mount Hope High School, man. I think even Mount Hope can beat Cranston West.
I think you're right. I don't want to, kick a team while they're down, but they're just not. They just don't have the firepower this year.
Maybe Cranston West can get it together. But I thought Cranston West for a long time has been a good football team. These Cranston programs, are they losing that many kids? Of course they're going to blame it on Keith Croft. Are they losing that many kids to Hendricken?
Who knows? I know a lot of the Hendricken Ross. A lot of the kids are from Cranston. You know what I mean? So uh, you- it's part of it, I'm sure. You know what I mean? But that you gotta coach what you have in front of you.
Man, so many great games, Uncle Felix, man. The only one that I don't think Rogers has a game coming up. So far, as far as I know, there has been no COVID cancellations. That's funny. Going into the playoffs, I did not think we see anybody ducking these games, because
Yeah,
there's probably no room.
it's a miracle. COVID must know it's playoff time.
That's right. It's cured, but Uncle Felix, man, UMass Dartmouth, man. Let's talk about them for a quick minute, man. Doing very, very good, man. For the first time, long
Yeah.
time, they are healthy.
Yes, yes. Actually, when you stepped away, that's what I was talking about too. They had a huge win this past weekend, probably one of the biggest wins in their program for well over a decade. You know, they've lined themselves up really nice. They'll have a chance to get into a bowl game first time since 2002 if they can pull off a win. They have a bye this week, so they'd have to pull off the win next week against Plymouth State and have a chance to finish the regular season with an 8-2 record. And who would have saw that coming? You know, after the first week when their quarterback went down in the second quarter. You know what I mean? They saw Dante Avila Santos, uh, rookie freshman, step into the spotlight of quarterback, and lo and behold, he leads the league in touchdown passes now.
Now, let me tell me, if you told me that Gay Chuck was going to go down in the first 20 minutes of the season
Yep.
and a sophomore in the classroom but freshman on the field quarterback was going to come in from Coventry High School and going to have the season he's having, I was going to say, you should pass that stuff, whatever you're smoking.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's exactly what happened.
nobody saw that, but kudos to Dante. He stepped in and they didn't skip a beat. I mean, he's very calm, cool, and collective there. He shows great poise, throws a great ball, and the kid is only a freshman, so sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's playing very, very good football. Um, I'm totally amazed of how they're all playing. When people say, UMass Dartmouth recruits anybody, and I say, well, anybody, let's take a look at this. Look at their second and third string guys. Are you as good as they are?
Yeah,
Now,
no,
your son's second string, right?
yeah, they got a lot of talent over there, and it shows. Obviously, they have a chance to be 8-2. You know what I mean? So they're doing something right.
With a backup freshman quarterback
Yeah,
from Cumberland.
from Cumberland.
You know what I mean? So they're definitely doing things right. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the Rhode Island teams, all the Rhode Island kids that are in college doing their thing. And listen, if you plan on going to college, register for that NCAA clearinghouse. Some kids don't even know they have to register for it or they need to register for it. But and if you're looking to go to college, Coach Willie Edwards says get on Twitter, put your film on Twitter. Um, How about your kids? What did they do? Did they do the same thing, or did they reach out to recruiters personally, or
Um,
did Coach
you
Croft
know,
handle a lot of that?
they put a lot of this stuff on Twitter. They sent things to coaches all over the place. You got to promote yourself at the end of the day. You can't really wait for, your coach or other coaches to come and do it for you. You got to be proactive and get yourself out there, be seen. The biggest thing is going to these college camps that they have every year, because that's where, in all honesty, I believe the number is as high as like 80% of these colleges. That's where they find the kids that they recruit is right there at the camps.
Wow, yeah, yeah. The camps are definitely. You got to get to these camps. We see a lot of these kids, balling out the beginning of the year. They were all at a lot of these camps. Like St. Ray's had a lot of kids at camps, and you can actually see the results all season long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get yourself seen and you improve on your skills. It's a win-win.
All right, Uncle Felix, man. Yo, thank you. Another week. I really appreciate it. Let me get some of these sponsors out the way. Big shout out. If you're looking to buy a home, Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker Coastal Homes, 401-787-5203. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about Uncle Felix's predictions. Big shout out to the Citrus Spartans football community. They are going to be happy today hearing Uncle Felix, Rhode Island ranked, pick the Spartans to win, man. Check Uncle Felix back here next Thursday. And if you want to see him before that, check him out at a Hendricken game. Or he's always on Rhode Island ranked, posting them great videos. I'm probably going to be up at the Westerly Barrington game this week. Don't forget, tune in this Friday night after the game. We'll be talking to Coach Dunbar, Wes Pennington, Gary Goodhart, Coach Piver, all the coaches, Coach Fortin, the regular cast of characters, man. Uncle Felix, thank you. Really appreciate it. And if you want to put your ad up here, definitely reach out. Let me get this picture off here. So, all right, Uncle Felix, man, it's been another great one. We'll continue this next week. Are you going to be doing a Rhode Island ranked into baseball too?
No. No.
You said, nope, I need a break.
Yeah. I will wrap it up with the football season, but I will keep actually doing football all the way through because during the off season is when we hear kids committing to colleges. So you'll be seeing a lot of posts about that. And, I keep saying I'm going to start doing some interviews on there, and maybe that'll be the time to do it too, is during the off seasons as these kids are more accessible, and hopefully I'll have more time on my hands.
Yeah, definitely tune in to see Uncle Felix. All right, Uncle Felix, we'll talk to you next week, man. Go Hawks.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure that's what he was going to say anyway. But all right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, God.
Uncle Felix, man, Rhode Island ranked, doing his thing over there, man. Big shout out to him, man. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Can We Keep It Real Podcast Network. Shout out to Can We Keep It Real Pod.
What y'all thought we was done? Oh, we ain't never done. It's Mr. Spin Your Block. Yeah, it's the remix. And I got some shooters with me. I ain't even doing no more.
You nervous with butterflies in your stomach? Don't try to intimidate me. You couldn't scare me with lip. I'm spontaneous, smart, dangerous, fancy and quick. My trainer told me to work. He ain't prepared me to quit. I'm the only captain who's sailing this championship. I gotta hold down the city.